Dr. Herbert Harris here. Welcome to the New You for the New Year 21-Day Challenge. I challenge you to use the New You for the New Year Success Bundle this first month of the year to set yourself up for health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money throughout the year. Get the New You for the New Year Success Bundle now at www.herbertharris.info. That's www.herbertharris.info. Every day for 21 days, I will share a success training to help you start this year strong. Watch the daily trainings on Facebook at Life Vision TV and DR Success Man. And now, the success training for today. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Class number 191. Wow. And our topic for today is defining your goals and objectives. Defining your goals and objectives. Now, this is a powerful topic now for the end of the year. We're now at the end of the year, and I cannot think of a more powerful, a more important topic than defining your goals and objectives for the next year. As you know, our topics are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and it is, of course, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, all of the digital websites, and on our own website, www.theperfectgift.me, www.theperfectgift.me. We have people, all right, Manny and Sadatavia and others are joining us on Instagram, and I see we're picking up a full house on Facebook. Well, folks, let me tell you, this is a critical message at this time of year. And so it is important that we get centered and in a position to really receive this message. So let us do our opening meditation. Let's close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. Take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. And then this relaxed state, we are at peace with ourselves. I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Once more. I am at peace with myself. And let that peace just sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, our minds are open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Once more. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. All right. Wow. Thank you for being here today. This is such a critical topic at this time because as we're closing out the year, one thing that is critical is to recognize that where we end this year is where we begin next year. And so it behooves us to end this year at the highest vibration, the highest level of clarity possible. When we talk about obtaining, defining our goals and objectives, we can have no more, there's no topic more important right now, because defining our goals and objectives for next year. And let me just say this. Let me salute each and every one of you, because we're making this determination this year. So many people don't attempt to define their goals and objectives until they're in it, until next year, January, February. You can always do it later, okay? But to be most powerful, to get the best results, it's best to define your goals and objectives now, so that you can create the vibration to move into them as you end the year and you begin the year in a powerful position, the new year. There's some quotes that I want to share with you. Robert Herjavec, he said, "A goal without a timeline is a dream. A goal without a timeline is a dream." One of my friends and mentors, Tony Robbins, said something that was very profound. He said, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible." Let us say that again. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Mm, mm, mm. Now, that's a powerful statement, folks, because whatever we want to be, do, and have next year starts with our goals, setting our goals. So if we want to create outrageous success, and I love the term outrageous success, because outrageous success means beyond your expectations. You know, when outrageous success happens, incredible things happen. You may have set out to make $100,000 and you made $1 million. I had a friend once, and he said he was a consultant, and he had made a presentation to one of the major manufacturers, national manufacturers. And so they asked him, they said, "Well, how much will it cost to implement your program?" And he said, $30,000. And so they said, "Fine, we'll send the paperwork." Well, when he got the paperwork was for $300,000. The company wanted to implement his program in each of their 10 divisions. Okay, now that's what I call outrageous success. So how do you position yourself for outrageous success? If you want outrageous success, good morning, DK Franklin, victorious attitude, thank you. If you want outrageous success, I want you to write in your comments, write in the chat, "I demand outrageous success." Not that I just want it, but I demand outrageous success. Write that in the quote, write that in your chat box. I demand outrageous success. Write it in your consciousness. Write it in your mind. And so when we come from this attitude, this idea of demanding outrageous success, it requires that we set our goals. You know, there are people who live their lives like stars on a predetermined trajectory from their beginning until their ending. It seems that everything they do is right on time. All the things they do work, and they achieve greatness. Then there are other people that they live their lives like thistles in the wind, going hither, thither, and yon. So the question really is, which one are you? Are you on a path of continuity? Are you on a path where you're building on the present success that you've had to create outrageous success next year? Or are you on the path of duplicating failure, disappointment, failure, lack of success? I think our first lecture in this 4-lecture series was called Assess and Address, to face the facts, to look at where you are right now, look at your performance to date, All right. Victorious Attitude said, I demand outrageous success and put it in all caps. Sadatavia, yes, I demand outrageous success. DK Franklin, I demand outrageous success. Those of you who are on Facebook, write it in the chat. I demand outrageous success. Note to self, because you're beginning to create the vibration now that will bring about the results you want next year. So when we assess and address, when we looked at where we were, when we faced the facts, and we used the Ben Franklin method of victories, all the victories we had this year, and lessons, all the things that did not work, all the disappointments that we had this year. And when we looked at them, if we had a lot of victories, then we know we had to make some minor adjustments. If we had a lot of failures, then we had to make some drastic changes. And so what we learn from our assess and address is that we are either moving from victory to victory or from crisis to crisis. So a key point is to choose this day whom you will serve. When we think about this year that we are finishing right now, and we look at the pandemic, who would have thought that we would experience a pandemic in the way that we have and in the way that we are? And so one of the lessons that we learned from this pandemic that we can carry forward is that regardless of what is going on in the external world, we still have to go on. We still have the ability to survive and thrive. The fact that we're here right now means that we've made some good choices, means that we've done some right things, means that we have been very intelligent about how we go forward, maneuvering through this pandemic. And so that's a good thought, that the external world is always there. Your goals and objectives, though, can give you a foundation to face the external world. And in a sense, this pandemic may have been maybe a wake-up call. Because one of the things that many of us found is when we were in the throes of this pandemic, this external vibration, that many of us were cut off from the outside world. It made sense to stop going out to eat, to stop socializing, to create a smaller circle around you. And in that circle now, in that, you might say that those moments of being alone, one of the things we realized is if you had no goals, no vision, no things that you wanted to do, be, and have, it was frightening. And you notice there are a lot of situations now, a lot of mental health challenges going on right now, because when people have been in the pandemic and the outside world is crushing down on them and they had no focus, no goals, no objectives in their lives, they didn't know what to think. And so this idea of goals and objectives is powerful. Someone, okay, Marcella Belton. Marcella, thank you. She said, to this day, since 2007, I still have a newspaper article that I wrote about success. Wow. Thank you, Marcella. Marcel. Wow. You know what, folks? Remember this, that the things you do each day live on beyond you. Sometimes you may be disappointed in the results that you get, but if you always stay on purpose, it can transform your entire life. So thank you so much, Marcel. So if we look at this pandemic as a wake-up call, this really is saying to us that we have some untapped talents. We have the ability to survive and thrive, that we can get through this, that we can transform our thinking, our lives, no matter what is going on outside. That's a powerful thought, folks. You know, we often talk about that image of that our life is like we're a boat on the river of life that flows into the ocean of eternity. And so the pandemic and all the things that go on in the external world are the river doing what rivers do, flow. But we're a boat on that river, and how we navigate determines our experience of life. So we can go with the flow. Right now, with this negativity, the pandemic, the river's going in a negative direction. But we don't have to go with it. You see, the idea, the uniqueness of being a person is that we have the capacity to steer our boat. We have a rudder, which are our core beliefs, our value system. We have an engine, which is our deep desire for a particular outcome. We have a crew. We have people who surround us and who can either help us or tear us down. And we have sails, our attitude, to give us the ability to maneuver the winds of change to our benefit. And so when we talk about setting our goals and objectives, it is important that we realize that most people fail because they don't have clearly defined goals. When we don't have clearly defined goals and we experience all these external transformations and challenges, it can make us feel that our life is out of balance because so much is going on that we do not seem to be able to control. But it is no accident that we're here this morning together on this broadcast. It is no accident because we understand the second law of success. Be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so all of the stuff that's going on right now, even our performance to date, even if we have had gone from failure to failure last year, we are still in a position to make a change. That second law of success, be not conformed. You don't have to stay stuck there. You can transform it. You can change it. And so what we're talking about today is how to do what you must do to transform yourself and give yourself the best possibility for outrageous success next year. You must have a goal because you can't hit something you don't see. When we focus on a goal, a particular outcome, we're literally creating a vibration. Imagine this. We have a Rolls Royce, and we have the most expensive GPS you can purchase. And it is absolutely worthless unless you have a goal, unless you put in a destination. And so for your Rolls Royce to be of value, for your GPS to give you guidance, you need two things. You need a destination and you need a location. So when we went through our first class, Face the Facts, Assess and Address, we really looked at our location. This is where we are. This is where we are, what we've accomplished to date. And now we must find a destination. This is where we want to go. This is what we want to be. And so in this process, we must approach it in a segmented manner when we start talking about goals and objectives. You know, there's a saying, it says, how do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. And so how do you build a dream? Day by day. And so let us look at this. As we now begin to define our goals and objectives, let us look at the areas we talked about, those goal areas. Now, each area, you don't have to give the same amount of attention, but you must be aware of it and have goals set in those areas so that you can live a holistic life. You have to look at your personal goals, your family goals, your professional goals, your financial goals, your spiritual goals, and your community goals. The amount of attention you give to each one differs based on what is important, your priorities at this point in your life. But once you start this goal setting process, just the fact that you've now identified and segmented means now that you can focus. So what are your personal goals? To focus on them. My good friend Ken Brown, he's one of my former students and good friend, and he always said, focus goes. Where focus goes, power flows. And so when you look at the different segments of your life, when you focus on your personal goals, when you focus on your family goals or your financial goals, when you focus on them, power goes there. You create that vibration in this universe that begins to implement the law of attraction to attract into your life that you need. Another key point is whatever you focus on the longest becomes your strongest. I'm going to repeat that again. Whatever you focus on the longest becomes your strongest. So you're literally giving more dynamic energy, more vibrational energy into particular outcomes. So then, what are the outcomes that you're seeking? What are the outcomes that you want to have and accomplish next year? One of the key points is to realize that vision is important. The vision is that thing that you see that you want to be. And the goals are the stair steps to your vision. And so if you have no vision, there are no goals. You know, the scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So if you have no vision, there are no goals, and you will then, your ship, your boat that is on the river of life will go in accordance with the river's desires and objectives, not yours. But there's something behind all of that. Anytime you're coming out of a transformational situation, you know, when God told Moses to go and tell Pharaoh to let his people go, Moses, like most of us, started making excuses and whatnot. And he said, well, who shall I say sent me? And God said, tell them that I am sent you. I am is the making power. I am is the creative power. Whatever you put after I am, you are. And so when we start this goal setting process, you must be clear about who you are. So that is step one. Who am I? And you see, the I am power says this, that whatever you put after I am, you are. Principle says, let the weak say I am strong. Let the sick say I am healthy. Let the poor say I am rich. And so this I am power is critical because we always bring ourselves to the party. So when we start talking about setting goals, we are the person doing the setting. We're the person doing the executing. We're the person in the driver's seat. Neville Goddard was a great thought leader from the Bahamas, and he wrote a number of books, but one of the things he was talking about, he says that life is like this great play. And this is a play in which you are the actor, you are the writer, you are the director, and you are the producer. And so the fact that you are all those things means that you must be clear on who you are. You must figure out that person that's doing all this stuff. If you set goals and not clear on who you are, it's going to be a challenge. My son asked me many years ago, he said, Dad, how do you figure out who you are? How do you figure out what you want to be in life? And so I challenge many of you today, if you're asking that same question, who am I? If I'm not clear about who I am, and let me say this, I am, who you are is the collection of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your associations, all focused through your choices. And so when we decide to figure who I am, what is your joy? What is the thing that you love doing? So I told my son, I said, well, how do you figure out what you want to do? What do you love doing? He says, I love making music. So I said, well, then make music. He said, but Dad, I got to make a living. I have to have a job. I said, why not make music and have your music make the money to take care of you? So then really and truly, if you think about it, One of the great joys of life is when the thing that brings you joy takes care of the necessities of life. You look at Tyler Perry, how many years he suffered sleeping in his car, putting on plays in churches. Anywhere somebody could get together, he put his plays on. He believed in himself. He made the sacrifices. He did what he loved. And he did it with such intensity that he created such a vibration that the world rewarded him. So, as a preliminary to this goal setting, let us decide who we are. Let us understand what brings us joy. When we talk about our goals, we'll often say, well, my goal is to be rich. My goal is to do this. Someone once said that a fool seeks riches. A wise man seeks joy. And so I challenge you today. What brings you joy? What do you love doing? Forget all the constraints, the buts. Reverend Ike used to have a sermon and he said, get your butt out the way. And your butt is all those things that limit your possibilities. I want to be a writer, but I need money to take care of my family. I want to be a speaker, but I need to have a job. I want to be a great athlete, but I never got a chance to practice. I didn't go to top school to be noticed by the pros. So those of you on here today, I want you to take some time as this year is winding down to determine who you are, what you love, what you're about. You see, everybody has a gift. God does not create junk. So the fact that you're alive right now means that you were created for a purpose. And once we begin to see that purpose now is supported by our vision. And our goals are the stair steps to our vision. So it's a holistic process, folks. Some of these books will tell you to write the vision. All that is true. But it's who is doing it. Once we understand who we are, and it's an evolutionary process, just the fact that you're listening here today means that you've already made a decision for change. Believe me, you would not. I have heard more excuses from people saying, man, Dr. Harris, I love what you say, but you're saying it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I can't get up that early to listen. Excuse me. So once we begin to understand the power of vision, the vision segues into our purpose, and our goals lead us to our vision. Then we see now we're like an architect. You know, when an architect wants to build a skyscraper, he starts out with a vision in his mind or her mind. But that vision in the mind is not actionable. That vision only becomes actionable when the architect lays out a blueprint. And so when we lay out our goals, the goals become the blueprint that lead us to our vision, that lead us to our purpose. So once we're clear on who the who is, who the I am is, who's doing it, and we understand that the vision is critical, the vision is for an appointed time, and that our vision leads us to our purpose, we can now look and say, now what are the principles of goal setting? Because now we're saying it all comes down to setting these goals. Without the goals, I will not realize the vision. Without the vision, I will not realize my purpose. So what is the process, the specific characteristics of this goal setting process? Your goals must be SMART, S-M-A-R-T. S, they must be specific. Your goals must be definite. They must be concise. They must be written down. You know, when I lecture to young people, there's this idea, well, I put it on my phone. I don't know that the scripture really talks about that. I don't know that. I think there's There's a hand, an eye hand, a coordination between the parts of your body. That writing it down, you know, the Habakkuk, one of the spiritual principles in the Bible, the Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets. It doesn't say put it in your computer. And when you get a sense of the old versus the new, think about this. We see the computer age coming upon us. And one of the things we notice about machines is that they have no feeling. So when a machine fires you, it doesn't care whether you have a family. When a person fires you, they have to at least acknowledge that. They may not care. And so there's something about using the machines as tools, but staying within the spiritual boundaries of creation. So write the vision, make it plain. Write it out. The fact that you write it means that you've created a crystallization of that vision into something you can see. And if you can see it, you can be it. So when we talk about happiness, we say, well, my goal is to be happy. Well, what does that mean? Happiness means that I have to have sufficient money to take care of me and my family. That's one. Okay. That's it. Someone said, Les Brown said, you got to be hungry. You got that right. You got to want it badly. Happiness may mean peace. So one of your goals might be, well, I need to have financial independence and I need to have peace around me. I need to surround myself with people who love me and care about me. Happiness may mean security. I need to be secure. I need to live in a place where I'm not fearful of being robbed or taken advantage of. Happiness may mean fulfillment, that whatever I do, I complete it and it brings me joy. So this idea of specific is to write the goal clearly in great detail. It must be measurable. You must be able to say how it looks, how it feels, how big it is. What color is it? How does it move? You see, the more that you can see it, the more that you can feel it, that creates the vibration that helps it manifest in your life. As Les Brown said, you got to be hungry. You know something? I guarantee you that anything you really wanted, you accomplished it. Anything that you really wanted in the bottom of your heart, you accomplished it. We talk often about trifling people, but I've never met very few people. I don't think I've met very few people who are so trifling they didn't get a car. They didn't get a place to live. In other words, they got the necessities. It's just that their vision wasn't big enough. They didn't see beyond necessities. Specific, measurable, it must be set in advance. That GPS again. Before your GPS can guide you where you want to go, you have to know where you want to go. So you have to set it in advance. If you don't have goals set in advance, then they're just wishes. You remember that first quote? If a goal does not include a timeline, it's just a wish. When we set goals in advance, we are giving ourselves direction now where we want to go. They must be realistic. And when I say realistic, realistic based on where you are right now. Realistic based on what is possible for you right now. You see, what is impossible today may be possible next year. So in truth, nothing is impossible. It's just that it hasn't been done yet. Look at the 4-minute mile. Until Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, people said it was impossible. Look at space travel right now. You know, when we look at Bezos and Branson and the stuff that they're doing, you know, 10 years ago, we would have never thought that there would be commercial that you could actually fly up in your lifetime and look at the earth. So impossible is relative, impossible based on the level of consciousness at a particular time. So realistic means that realistic for you at that particular time. The beauty of realism is that as you move up the path, you know, life is a lot like a mountain. In addition to being a boat, it's like a mountain. And as you rise up the level of consciousness, as you begin to see more, you can be more. As you climb the mountain of reality, you can see beyond the trees. You can see the things that were obstacles at one point now become scenery at another. And so this idea of realistic is a constantly expanding proposition based on your desire and your growth. And then finally, the goal must cover a certain time period. This is the kicker, folks. You see, God's gift to man, to mind, is time. The moment you were born, that was your gift from the Creator. What you do with your time is your gift to God. Mhm. What you do with your time is your gift to God. So now when we talk about making next year our year for outrageous success, it depends on what we do right now. You see, time is the great equalizer. There's clock time and there's real time. Time is the great equalizer. Each of us has 60 seconds in our minutes. Each of us has 60 minutes in our hours. Each of us has 24 hours in our days. So it's all equal. That's the ultimate equality. But it's about what you do with those times, with those moments. Time is the taskmaster. Time says if you want next year to be your year for outrageous success, you have to do what must be done from moment to moment. That you must ask yourself every moment of your life, what is the best use of my time when I consider my goals? If you have no goals, then that time question doesn't make sense. When I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose. So, as we set your goals for next year, your goals must be smart. They must be specific, measurable, set in advance, realistic based on where you are, and cover a specific time period. So let us recap today. We've covered a lot. We've gone a little bit over time, but this is critical, folks. What you do in interpreting this message, and I hope that you share it, and those of you like it and share it with other people. This is critical because it is how you approach this message and how you implement it that you determine next year's outcomes. So let's recap. Number one, to be clear about who you are. They always say, know thyself. It's important that you realize that you always bring yourself to the party. So whatever your goals, whatever your objectives, whatever things you want to be, do, and have, it depends on who you really are. And you are the compilation of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your relationships, and your choices. Number two, understand the principle of vision. The scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But the other side of that vision is this, but he that keepeth the law, they that keepeth the law, happy are they. And the law is the law of manifestation, the law of vision. That if you have a vision, and definitely the fact that you were born means that there's a vision for you. God does not create junk. So the fact that you're alive means that you were created for a purpose. Everything in the universe is created for a purpose. And so your vision now must segue into your purpose. And realize that your goals now lead you to your vision. And so this goal setting is so critical. Because without the goals, you may not realize your vision and thus not realize your purpose. Third key point, your goals must be smart. They must be specific, measurable, set in advance, realistic based on where you are, and cover a certain time period. And finally, the fourth implication of all this is that without goals, you cannot make plans. The Habakkuk says this, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. That's a plan. And so if you have no written goals, you can't make a plan. It said, though it may tarry, wait for it. It will surely come to pass. That if you have a vision, if you translate those visions into goals, and then you execute a plan to achieve those goals, you'll realize your vision and you will live your purpose. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. So, everybody, just take a deep breath today. I know we've been sharing a lot of energy, but I want you to make a commitment to listen to this video, to go over it again and again, to go through the section in the book on vision and goal setting. And I got something for you. Success Setting and Achieving Your Goals. It's a free booklet that I am prepared to send to you. As a matter of fact, we set up a little page so we can send it to you. A free booklet, Setting and Achieving Your Goals. And you can go to www.successismine.net. Successismine.net. And we'll send you that free booklet, Setting and Achieving Your Goals. So once again, folks, it's been my honor, my pleasure to be with you today to share lesson 3 of our New You for the New Year seminars, a series. Today we talked about setting and achieving your goals, and next week we're talking about commitment to action, how to get it done. So remember this: you can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do, and you can have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, author of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, inviting you to join me on a personal success journey. This journey is sponsored by the New You for the New Year Success Bundle. This is a special bundle of over $250 in digital products to help you achieve outrageous success this year. It includes the 12 Universal Laws of Success ebook, and that's the electronic version of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. It includes the 12 Universal Laws of Success audiobook. Over 6 hours of recorded information. It's the book on tape. You can listen to it in your car, in your bed, wherever you are. It also includes the complete New You for the New Year Home Study Guide. Now, this is a transformational home study course to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. It comes with a study guide and a workbook and a number of audios, how to study, how to assess your present situation, how to make life changes, how to set new goals and objectives, how to make an action plan and a blueprint for your success. In addition to these things, you get the 12 Universal Laws of Success workbook, so that as you read the book, you can fill in the answers and it will help you retain the information. You also get a live recording of a seminar on the 12 Universal Laws of Success that you can listen to, and it will be just like you're there. There's also a wealth building and trying times audio to help you have more money at the end of the month. The audio on the law of command will help you use your power of speech to create the world exactly the way you want it to be. And the 12 affirmations to live by poster, so that you can reprogram your mind, reprogram your thoughts to be exactly what they need to be to create success. And how much does it cost? Over $250 in bonuses for $77. That's $77 for you, to help you achieve health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. That's right, $77 to help you create the new you in this new year. Go to our website, www.herbertharris.info, to learn more and buy now. www.herbertharris.info. Thank you.